Okay, I'm live again. I'm going to make sure this opens up on YouTube. One moment. One moment. And I will get Sunny up here if she pops in a minute. Oh boy, hold on. There we go. Okay. All right, let's see if anybody finds me on StreamYard. Hello, everybody. Let me get a banner up here kind of telling what we're talking about. All right. So, all right, I need to get that thingy off of there. There we go. Okay. I see a comment. All right, I will link you. One moment. There you go. Hopefully that works. Welcome back. 2 people. Plus me, I think. I don't know. Hopefully you're able to get on here with me and tell me what you know about the Bad Vegan movie, because I've never seen it. I don't know what it's about. And I would like to know about it and how it ties in with Mr. Barbaro's very cruel demeanor and behavior towards the medical medium, Anthony. I don't know his last name. Williams, maybe? I think it is Anthony Williams. I think that's his name. At least that's the name he goes by on here. So, and in his social media, to my knowledge. So come on up. I think I have room for plenty of people here. Anybody that knows the story can definitely come on up and talk and share your feelings about it. You know, if you know who medical medium is, all the more we invite you up here. Here we go. Good vegan.
Oh, good hey vegan. There.
Hey.
Can I turn this camera around? I'm wondering. Let me play with it for a second.
Okay.
I guess not. I guess not.
I need to turn off my, what do you call that thing? The Bluetooth. That way I can hear the sound on my computer, not in the other room, on my speaker. Okay.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to do it from my phone because I can't see comments.
Yeah.
But I was interested in this aspect of this because the movie from Netflix is called Bad Vegan, Fame, Fraud, and Fugitives. So Robbie sits down and watches this movie, and it's like it shows on my screen right now, season 1, episode 1. I think there's 3 episodes in total. Okay. And the story is about this beautiful raw vegan chef, and she was very well known. She had a lot of respect. She was able to get the investor, I think his name is Jeffrey Chodorow. He is this mega restaurateur, has dozens and dozens of restaurants. And so anyhow, she's and she's also very well educated. She's gone to, I guess it was an East Coast, an Ivy League school, or a very well-known, well-respected university. And she was in the finance industry at first, for the 3 to 5 years of her career, and then she shifted gears and decided she wanted to become a raw vegan chef. So
Mm-hmm.
she studied, and she got very far in her studies and her career, and she was in restaurants, and she became well known because of what she did. Anyhow, she she had a really great opportunity. She was um, working for one of the restaurants where there was another chef there, and they had an affair. They fell in love. It was fantastic. Two chefs, two raw vegan chefs, but their relationship went by the wayside. It didn't work out, and now this is where Jeffrey. I'm going to obliterate his name. I'm going to say Chatterow. Not sure if that's correct pronunciation. Jeffrey Chatterow, this mega multi-millionaire investor for restaurants, becomes an investor for their business,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, they're both basically telling him, "I can't work with him. Get him out of here." Then the boyfriend's calling up Jeffrey and say, "Get her out of here. I can't work with her."
Wow.
And so he had the boyfriend was also a raw vegan chef, and he had an even higher reputation, even a better reputation than she did. What his name is, I don't know. I have to rewatch the documentary. And I'll tell you about the documentary. It's very bizarre. So this whole thing is just mind blowing for me, because it's basically, I'm looking at the title on my TV screen. And it says "Fame, Fraud, and Fugitives," and I swear it's like Robbie was so enamored by this whole idea that he's basically creating a narrative out of thin cloth. He's taking something and making it more than it really is. And he spent a year on this, so he's very frustrated because he wanted to see this article come out right away.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole inspiration was the movie Bad Vegan. So let's get back to the chef, the raw food chef in Bad Vegan. Her name is, I think it's Sarma. Another name I cannot pronounce, but this beautiful young woman, she's now in a bad relationship with her boyfriend. They're involved in this restaurant together. And Jeffrey Chatterow looks at both of them and he thinks, okay, the guy he's got the credibility. He's famous. He's well known. He does a great job. But he's horrible with finances. He's already, I think he's he goes through money like water. So
Right.
he is not a good gamble because he doesn't know how to manage his money. So what happens is Jeffrey takes a chance on her and he says, "You know what? No, she's the one. I'm going to go for her because I think she went to Wharton's, and that's a very prestigious university. I think Trump went there.
Wow.
Jeffrey Chatterow went there. So, he figured we went to the same school. She's an alumni. She was in finance. That's where she started her career. I'm going to put my investment towards her. So he's going to back her and tell the boyfriend, "You're out." So that's
Mm-hmm.
what happened. So he backed her, and so she wound up with a restaurant, and it's this very well performing restaurant. They're making a lot of money in it. But now Jeffrey says, "Okay, I've given you the seed money. Now you owe me $2 million. Give
Wow.
me back. The restaurant's yours. The boyfriend's out. It's all on you." So, she might be a great chef and she might have a background in finance, but there's something missing about her character that, the other thing is she's very good-hearted. Okay, so she's
Mm-hmm.
this really good-hearted woman, and part of the thing that I hated about the storyline, the way they portrayed her, um, they made the story about her dog, that she adopted a dog, and that so she's vegan and she cares all about the animals. So
Right.
she was enamored by this idea. So now a new man comes into her life, and he promises her that he would give her dog immortality, that the dog would live forever.
Okay.
And yeah, really strange. So I thought, well, that's kooky. That's a really strange thing. And she's a smart woman. Why would she actually fall for something like this? It just didn't
Right.
make any sense to me. But so that's the storyline that they went with this Netflix movie, and this is why I think it's a really awful documentary. I didn't even consider it a documentary. I thought these were actors. I thought that there was a plot line with
Yeah.
scripts and people were reading off a script. And after I finished it, I thought, oh, it was just such a bad movie, and it really upset me because I thought, you know what? It's more manipulation. And I can see where Robbie got excited about this, saying, oh, I have an idea. Wow. I can plot a takedown of the medical medium by, start feeding the information to journalists and get a journalist to write an article about this. So he was really frustrated and angry that it took so long for the journalist to wrap his head around the idea of, all the problems with the medical medium. And so it took at least, I think, over a year to get this article published. But it all was surrounding this movie about this woman who went to jail. Now, here's what happened with her. So, smart woman, and this is what always just blows my mind. It's like a smart woman, well-educated, and she gets involved with this. I'm just going to call him what he is. He's a thug. He's just a do-nothing thug of a man who was abusive and just embezzled money. Not even embezzled money. He just outright asked for money. First it was, I need $5,000. I need $6,000. And she was so giving. And this is what everybody in her restaurant would say about her. He said she would give you anything that you asked for. If the dishwasher at the restaurant was having financial problems, medical issues, couldn't afford the hospital bill, she would step up and she would pay for it. She wanted to take care of her employees. So she had her employees really liked her. And there was not much turnover. The people who were there with her stayed with her. So when the new boyfriend came into her life, they're looking at her and looking at him going, this is not a match.
No. No.
He was not vegan. He was just this thuggish type of character, very rude, and I don't know what she saw in him, but why do women see certain things in men? You just don't know.
Right.
And before that, she was dating that other actor. There was another actor. He was in 30 Rock. He's real controversial. He was just the one who was accused of shooting.
Wasn't it Kirk something?
No, not him. He's one of the brothers, the Baldwin brothers.
Oh,
Alec.
Yeah.
Alec. She dated Alec Baldwin before he married his wife, Hilaria. So this woman is just, she's in the, that type of crowd. She's in with the celebrity crowds. She travels in the high circles. So it was very odd for her to wind up with this guy. Now, here's how she wound up with him. He was on Twitter, and he was tweeting between Alec Baldwin and himself. So they're tweeting. And so she thought, oh, well, if Alec is tweeting him, I guess he's okay.
Wow.
That is.
So is that why you think Robbie kind of latched onto that story too? Because it's kind of like, what do you call it? Name dropping, power posturing. He could be connected indirectly to a celebrity. Yeah. Robbie's all about fame, He's
all about that. You could tell Robbie loves to be in the limelight.
Yep.
He's got this happy-go-lucky, just bright shining, just.
Well, he's like the boy next door.
He's like the boy next door, right?
Yeah, he looks like a little kid.
This is why it just blows my mind. Because of who's involved. And then Christina, Fully Raw Christina is involved, and anybody who knows Fully Raw Christina, prayer hands, Fully Raw
Yep.
Christina. She's, all about, love and light, and she's just, she acts like such a, a docile, sweet, compassionate woman. And then you hear in these recordings that have been, released, she's part of it. She's part of the plot to take down
Yep.
the medical medium. Because, and Robbie, the thing that makes it so funny is that they're all backstabbing each other without either one knowing what they're doing. So
Right.
Robbie's telling all this information about Christina. Oh, she's the most competitive woman he's the most competitive woman he's ever met.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about the number one plotter. And the number one plotter, meanwhile, is praising Robbie. He's like, oh, Robbie's, if Robbie says something, you got to believe it because, he's very trustworthy. But
Yeah.
meanwhile, Robbie is throwing everybody under the bus, left
Yep.
and right and center. Even his business partner, he's throwing his business partner under the bus, telling him he's an idiot. Now, this is a guy who's got a PhD. He's a medical doctor, and he's calling his business partner all these horrible names. And so Robbie is sitting there watching this movie, Bad Vegan, and is getting so inspired about it because he thinks, oh, wow, we could really take him down. And he's pushing for it. He's in touch with, since he's a book author, he has a literary agent. He's
Uh-huh.
telling the journalist, all about the literary agent. He could put him in touch and trying to help him out, kind of like offering favors here and there.
Yeah.
So this woman, Sana, I'm not sure of her name, the bad vegan woman, she wound up going to jail for, I think, over 15 months.
Yep. Yep.
She wound up stealing from her own business $2.1 million.
Mm-hmm.
So the employees who actually even came, so she had to shut down the first time after she got married to this loser. And, he's telling her, I need this, I need that. And she would give him the money. I mean, I would be telling her, like, get out of here, hit the
Yeah.
road, Jack. You're not getting any money. But
Exactly.
she just gave him anything, and it's not like he was good to her. It didn't seem that way, at least the way it was portrayed in the movie and from what I've
Mm-hmm.
understood. But she gave him everything he wanted, and he basically took $2.1 million from her. He drove her out of town, kept her away from New York City for, I don't know, 9 months or so. He gambled in Las Vegas. They were driving
Wow.
all throughout the country. She wound up in Tennessee, and the way she got caught,
That was funny.
an order from Domino's Pizza, they used their real names. So,
Yep.
they were on the run. And so that's how they got caught. The police came and got him after they, ate their Domino's Pizza. I'm sure she didn't want the Domino's Pizza. She's a raw vegan chef. I'm sure she was miserable. It's like,
Wow.
but I don't know why this is the thing about women. Why do women stay? Why do
Mm.
women put up with this abuse? So that's what
Ooh,
happened.
ooh.
So she went to jail. The guy that she was married to, he went to jail. They're divorced. She doesn't talk to him anymore. But this whole thing was the inspiration for Robbie to take down this gentle man, this medical
Yes.
medium. No matter what you think about his protocols, good, bad, or indifferent, it's professional courtesy. When you are in any type of industry, you keep your nose clean. You don't venture out to take somebody else down.
Right.
You just don't do that. And Robbie has so much success on his own. Fully Raw Christina has so much success on her own. I mean, and the funny thing is they call themselves the elite, right?
Uh-huh.
So I don't consider themselves the elite. I consider themselves the worst of the worst for causing so much harm to so many people who are seeking treatment. Sometimes when normal medical procedures don't work, it's like if this is your last hope, you'll try anything to try to survive.
Right.
And so people are using his protocols and his cleanses to get through and to try to heal. So I really have a low opinion of both Fully Raw Christina and Robbie Barbaros
Yeah.
for what they've done. Um, it's just the most despicable thing I've ever seen in the health and wellness industry. I've never heard of anybody doing this to anybody before.
Mm-mm. Never.
I mean, attorneys, maybe you hear, in
Right.
other industries, in sales, yes, and but in this kind of industry, you wouldn't expect this kind of behavior
Mm-mm.
from people who are already have so much success in their own right. It's like, why bother trying
Right.
to concoct a fraudulent story? You know what it is? It's greed. It's greed, and it's all
Mm-hmm.
about fame
Jealousy.
and greed and jealousy, professional jealousy.
Envy. Yep.
So anyhow, I wanted to just follow up with you on that because I know you said she was in jail for 15 years. I think
Mm-hmm.
it was 15 months.
Okay.
I might be wrong, but I don't think it was that long.
15 months. Okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
So so she's still around. I started, looking up articles on her, and she's
Mm-hmm.
out of jail. She's living in Harlem,
Hmm.
and still has a dog. Um, but she's very upset with the documentary. She gave him all the information, and they basically twisted it to make it look different than, like at the very end, they said, she's laughing with the guy that she divorced. And she said, nope,
Right.
that was actually in the beginning when I made that phone call.
Wow.
And the producers were in the room when she made that phone call.
Right.
So again, it's just how people twist a narrative. They twist it for their own sick, psychotic reasons.
Yes, they do.
And so those producers, well, the cinematographer that worked on that movie is the husband of the number one plotter. The number one plotter has all these connections in Hollywood, and of course, Robbie's drooling over the idea of using the number one plotter's husband to push this as so he's got this whole idea. One, we're gonna have a article written in a
Mm-hmm.
mainstream publication. Two, we're gonna use our resources. We're gonna get your husband's a cinematographer. Why haven't you been pushing this already? Robbie's really, he's treacherous.
His
Very.
main reason for taking medical medium down, though, what is it? That's what I don't understand. What does he have against the guy?
It bugs me because I still feel like is it just, it could just be jealousy. And what is odd, and I think you've picked that up, and so have I, is that it's like we still feel something's missing here.
Yeah. Yeah.
What happened to make Robbie turn on his friend? They had uh, things out there. I mean, they both were, I think, appeared on somebody's podcast
Mm-hmm.
together, or they've done things in the past before. And Fully Raw Christina promoted medical medium. I mean,
Jeez.
so was it just are they using misplaced sadness over their friend's death and wanting to blame? I think that's really what it comes down to, is they're using that as an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they're just looking at an opportunity here to, well, as he said, he keeps pushing this post-medical medium
Right. Era.
time frame, so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad you did a little thing on it and a follow up. I haven't been seeing anybody talk about it, so I'm happy to see that you talked about it, and
Yeah.
it's important to get the word out. And I swear I'm just I'll never look at anything that Robbie produces
Mm-mm.
again or puts out. I'll follow I'll follow the other doctors and medical people and health professionals, but I will not
Yeah.
look to anything that has to do with Robbie Barbaros. Never.
Nope. Me either. I do want to know if Cyrus is involved, though. I really need to know that
Yeah.
because I really like Cyrus and I think his information's really good. He's the first one that I latched onto. So,
Right. Cyrus is he's a medical doctor. He's a professional, and I'm sure he's
mm-hmm.
embarrassed by what Robbie has done.
I
But
would
if we
think.
find out that, well, I doubt that we're going to hear anything about Cyrus. I just have that feeling that he's not involved, but his partner certainly is in deep
Yeah.
in
Well, I
this.
mean, but they're together with the Mastering Diabetes, and weren't they together with Forks Over Knives too?
Well, I mean, they were asked to appear, and they appeared in that movie, in that documentary, Forks Over Knives.
Mm-hmm.
But they're partners. I mean, they're legal partners in business.
Yep.
Robbie is in charge of sales and marketing. I mean, and why am I saying this? Because he said it on this
Yeah.
recording. He
Yeah.
told everything. He's got a big mouth. Blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
he gave away the story. He told us everything in those recordings. So he is the sales and marketing person for his business, and Cyrus is research, R&D.
Mm-hmm.
So Cyrus is the one who puts together the information, and then Robbie's the one who's out there promoting it, pushing it.
Wow. So I wonder if Cyrus has put out any information about Robbie.
I haven't seen
He
anything
needs
yet.
to.
I haven't seen anything yet, and I think the one thing that I have seen is that they have deleted comments, and I wouldn't do this. I think it's a waste of time to go and badmouth them on their page, but they are getting people who are leaving comments there, and they're deleting them.
Yep.
And so I just think it's a wishy-washy excuse to try to take down medical medium.
Right.
For him to even bring up, all he had to do was say, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the heck these people are doing. And he brings up killing babies. It's like, what? Where did that come from?
Mm.
Why did he say that? It was just something he threw out there, and it's what people do when they want to dissuade and twist things and
That's
put out something for people to question and say, why would you ever say that? Because then it becomes a thing where people are asking, it's like, what is he involved with? Why would he say that?
right. Right.
What does he know? And he knows nothing. He's just talking, blah, 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 just diarrhea of the mouth. And
Yes.
so excited about it. So excited about this whole thing of taking the guy down. So,
Yeah.
anyhow.
Crazy.
But that's about it. That's all I really wanted to say about the Netflix.
That's all there is, really, so far.
It's a crazy documentary. It doesn't even feel like a documentary. It's like when I found out that that's actually her in the movie, I thought, who played her? Oh, she played her. Oh, it's really a documentary. It just had such a weird vibe about it. I had no idea these were the actual employees that worked with her. This was actually her.
Crazy.
The only one I recognized was Jeffrey Chatterow, the restaurateur. And I follow that just because I'm a foodie. I follow everything about the food industry. So
right.
I used to watch what were those shows? Top Chef and
yes,
all the shows on the Food Network, and and then there was another very famous chef that Jeffrey was involved with, and he did a show. So I like that kind of show. I love food. I love cooking. I love all that. So I have an interest in it. But very sad to see this happen. I'm sad to see this woman was taken advantage of, and that her story is being used as inspiration for Robbie to paint a false narrative against the medical medium. That's so creepy. Creepy,
very
creepy,
much
creepy.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. And they've only released 3 episodes, 3 podcasts revealing the recording. So Amber, who was the one they were trying to recruit, and that's why they have all these recordings released on Medical Medium's podcast, is because Ashley and Robbie were trying to recruit. I don't know who the third person is, honest. Oh, the third person is Fully Raw Christina. And there are other people too. There's about 7 of them. So I'm sure that we're going to hear more about the other people who were involved in this plot to take down Medical Medium. Just absolutely horrendous. So, but it's good to be able to talk about this, because nobody else that I know is understands this.
I know, right?
So one of my friends is an omnivore. So he doesn't care.
Right, right.
And so the people I know is like they're not involved in this. Like who? What?
So my friend, speaking of vegan, the pastor guy where we go to the Messianic church like
Hmm.
once a month or whenever we can get out there. He became vegan 2 weeks ago, him and his
That's so
girlfriend.
cool. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
they decided they would try it. They're getting older and stuff, and they wanted to try something different. So now he's posting all his vegan meals and stuff, going, "This isn't bad at all. I like this. I don't miss meat." That's pretty cool because this was a guy that used to slaughter lambs and sheep
Oh,
right on the lawn because,
oh my
well, we
god.
practiced Passover. So we needed a lamb. We ate lamb for Passover. He always did it like before a lot of the people would come to the congregation for the service
Yeah.
back when he was in this other church that I used to belong to. And yeah, they just do it right on the front lawn. And I
Oh
never
my
showed
god.
up during that time. I was like, I'll eat the lamb later when I was eating it. But
Oh,
I'm not going to watch that, you know?
oh my gosh.
So, but
Oh.
yeah, now he won't. He's like, well, Passover was fulfilled when the Messiah, Jesus, died. He was the Passover lamb. We don't have to do that anymore. So he
Yeah.
won't do it anymore. Now he won't even eat meat. So I think that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Is he doing well with his food choices? Does he know how to plan his
I'm
meals?
not sure because his girlfriend is the one that cooks his food, as far as I know. So
Yeah. Get it.
yeah,
Get
he
them
does
involved
good
with.
with it.
Yeah, get them involved with the groups. Like Forks Over Knives and
Oh
Whole
yeah.
Food Plant Based.
Well, I don't know about Forks Over Knives now because that's Robbie's group. I don't know if I want anybody
What?
involved. Any
No, he's not in charge of that. He just appeared in the documentary. That's all.
right.
He's not part of it.
Oh, okay.
Um, no,
That's
no,
good
no.
to know.
He's like a social butterfly. He's everywhere. He makes his appearances. That's why everybody knows about mastering diabetes. It's on the New York Times bestseller list.
Right,
Um,
right.
and oh look, who do we have there?
That's Mimi.
Hi,
It's
baby.
Michi.
Oh, you're so cute. Oh,
Say I'm not vegan. I have to eat animals.
oh, so
Kitties
cute.
eat the animals,
Oh,
not me
well,
though.
I don't have anything else to say.
Me either. I'm talked out about it for
Okay.
now. I mean, there'll
Yeah.
be more coming, so we'll
We'll
come
talk
back and
again.
talk about it when we have more to say about it.
Alrighty.
Think it's awful.
It is awful. I think it's awful. I know that the medical medium has a ton of support behind him. And, worse things could happen. And I mean, it's not as bad as they hope to make it out to be. That's the good thing about it. It's like, okay, so they put out the article in a mainstream publication.
Hmm.
It was a nothing burger, absolutely
Right.
nothing. There was no it was
No
sketchy,
substance to it.
no substance to it. And now that the person that they try to recruit, Amber Fitticaro, she turned on them, saying, "There's absolutely no way I'm going to be involved with this," and so she's got 17
She did
hours worth of.
really good faking it though
Oh,
when she
she
was
did.
talking to him on the phone. Now, they said that she recorded it legally. How does that work?
One party consent state where only one party has to agree. I don't
Oh,
know. I'm not an attorney. I don't know how that works,
yeah.
and I think that's the reason why when they're talking about this on their podcast, they're not using their names. Because you kept saying, well, why are they saying
Right.
the plotters?
Plotters. Yeah.
Plotter number one, number two, and number three. It's because I think they're being very careful. But the funny thing is that anybody who listens to these recordings, as soon as I listened to it, I said, oh, that's Christina.
And
That's
that's Robbie.
Robbie.
Yeah.
I knew them immediately. And I was
Hmm.
like, I was just astounded. It's like, oh my God. Oh my God. How can
Hmm.
I do this? It just blew my mind. And I guess I'm just really a gullible person because I really thought Christina was an honorable person. Robbie, I just knew he was kind of like a clown. But a lot of people were saying, "Oh, fully raw Christina, she's fake. She's fake." And I'm saying, but she's so nice. I bought into, here's the thing. I always, and I'm not going to beat myself over this. I give people a chance until they
Right.
show me otherwise.
Yeah.
And, and that's the way it is. I like to look at people for what they offer. If they are good people, then it will play out always that they're, doing good. But
Right.
that if they're playing like, oh, I'm such a prayer hands, oh, I'm such a good, person and
Hmm.
so spiritual, she turned out to be such a fraud.
Well, I wonder if what they can do. Like, I mean, isn't this kind of breaking the law what they're doing to him, or is it just not? Is it not?
I really want to know. I want to know the legal aspects of this. I want to know, what he's going to do next. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, this is defamation to the highest degree.
Right. Exactly.
The things that they're saying is just, it's, they have no ground to stand on. you know
Right.
so you don't like the guy. Well, and that's the thing. If you there's plenty of different types of
Hmm.
health protocols out there that you could be following. You could be an omnivore, you can be a carnivore, you could be
Right.
a vegan, a vegetarian, whatever.
Hmm.
You can follow whatever you want. It's a free world to be able to eat what you want to eat. And
Right.
this protocol doesn't work for you, move on, but don't
Hmm.
sit there and vacillate over it. And oh, the worst part is you're sitting there vacillating over, oh, what can we do to take him down? We're gonna hatch a plan. Oh, and but you know what? Let's still use his protocols and just, we're not going to give him credit for it.
Yeah. That's what I was saying on my live stream. We're just gonna steal his stuff,
We're
call
going to
it
steal
our
it.
own, and huh? You know,
Uh,
medical medium who? You know, who's that?
uh,
Never heard of him.
Terrible,
Uh,
absolutely terrible. So,
absolutely.
okay, well, I think it's time to go. It's that
Alrighty.
I've got a headache developing, this light overhead. I feel like I've got
Oh, gotcha.
a
Yeah, and I got to
migraine
get up early for work
on.
tomorrow. So,
So, all right. Well,
all
good to
right.
chat with you, and
You too.
thank you for talking about it, because
Yeah.
it's an interesting subject.
Uh,
Okay,
alrighty.
talk to you later.
See
Bye.
you later. Goodbye. Good night. Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming in, even though you didn't chat. Thank you, Miller, for saying hi. I asked you a question you didn't answer. I'm not surprised. You usually don't. So, oh well. I'm going to head off now since nobody's talking. I am getting kind of tired. I get a little restless at night, hard to sit still. But this was a subject that was worth discussing because, like I said, it's absolutely despicable what Robbie is doing towards medical medium. And I'm interested to find out how it's all going to turn out. If anybody's going to press charges or try to prove anything against Robbie or do anything about it at all, or maybe just let it, blow away in time, not even acknowledge it. Who knows? That's probably the case of what's going to happen. But if they do come out with a documentary against medical medium, then what? Then will medical medium, kind of dispute it, or I don't know. Time will tell. We will see. And everybody be blessed tonight. I'm going to head off of here and probably go to sleep. I am tired. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you soon. Shalom.